I'm Jake Wheatmarsh, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Northern Kentucky University. So Northern Kentucky is a university about 10 minutes south of Cincinnati. We normally hover around 5,000 students or so. Let's see, some of the programs that we offer, we have a College of Business, College of Health and Human Services, College of Education, a whole bunch of different varieties of different majors, minors, focuses, whatever that you want to study. Other than that, we are also a Division I college, so when it comes to sports and things like that, we usually play Division I teams as well. If you want to check us out more, our website is nku.edu.
Good afternoon. My name is Staff Sergeant Nelson with the Marines. I'm a local Marine Corps recruiter here in Elizabethtown. We have a few different career opportunities that you can do. Anything, a lot of hands-on type jobs, help pay for college, all those different benefits that all the branches offer. You can reach us on Facebook at Marine Corps Recruiting Elizabethtown, or you can actually call my cell phone. It's 812-697-1110. Call us. We can walk you through the process. We can actually sit down and talk to you about some of the opportunities that the Marine Corps has to offer.
Hi, my name is Jessie Riley. I'm with the Hanover College Office of Admission. I am representing Indiana's first private college with Hanover College. We have 33 majors, one of which is a Create Your Own. Our top programs are our Business Scholars Program, our Pre-Med program, and any of our social sciences programs are excellent programs at Hanover College. If you have more questions, please go to our website, hanover.edu. You can find your admission counselor, or you can call the admission office at 812-866-7021. Thanks.
Hello, y'all. My name is Treshawn Durham. I'm an admissions counselor with the University of Louisville, and just giving you some information about U of L. We have 23,000 students enrolled currently, but only out of the 23, 12,000 are undergraduate students. Some of our more popular programs are engineering, nursing, education, business, and anything within the medical field or sciences. At U of L, you can get a very tight-knit community. Over 200 degree programs that you can take part of, including majors and minors. Over 450 recognized clubs or organizations. So you can, if you're looking for more information on ways to reach us, you can always visit our website at louisville.edu, www.louisville.edu.
My name is Sergeant Daniel Rodriguez, and I am with the Kentucky Army National Guard. I am a recruiter. Some benefits about the Kentucky Army National Guard is that we pay up to $50,000 in college tuition. So if you're looking for a means to go to college, we are it. We have over 200 jobs in the Army National Guard, and you're more than welcome to come to our office, whether at the E-Town Armory, that's Elizabethtown Armory, or you can, let's scan over here, because I'm a fun recruiter. This guy right there is the ECTC recruiter. So if you can, come by, stop by, and find out more information about the Kentucky Army National Guard. Good luck. Now, for more information, you can either call me up at 502-435-8193, or you could call Staff Sergeant Collins at
It's 502-330-6977. You can call or text either one.
Hi, my name is Greg Havens, and I'm with NOSI College of Art out of Nashville, Tennessee. And we offer all the visual arts. We offer a BA degree in commercial illustration, one in graphic design, photography, videography, and then one in web and interactive design. We're a very small school right downtown, very hands-on approach to learning. And if you would like further information about us, please get on our website. It's nosi.edu. It's a very interactive website. It's got 3D virtual tours. It has drone video footage. Students can interact with it. We have a private campus in Nashville, and it's a gated art community. So those of you with the interest, please get online and check it out. I think you'll like what you see.
I'm Tech Sergeant Lopez Castro with the Kentucky Air National Guard. Just here to tell you about some opportunities we have with the Air Guard. We have over 100 different career opportunities. We pay up to 100% tuition assistance. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach us you can call to GoANG, or you can go onto the website, goang.com.
Hi, my name is Shelby, and I'm an admissions counselor at Murray State University, and a place you can go to answer all of your questions would be murraystate.edu. And we have a lot of different programs we offer. We have over 173 different student organizations on campus, definitely things to get involved in. Our academic programs, we have our College of Business, our engineering department, nursing, health sciences, education, arts, music, all of that stuff. We do have about 143, I think, academic programs, so we do have a lot to offer. Any scholarship info, really good info you can find on our website as well.
Hey y'all, my name is Anna Hampton and I'm the Bellarmine University rep here for Central Kentucky. Just to let you know a little bit about some of our majors. Our big ones are nursing, psychology, and business. We offer a ton of internships with those throughout Louisville, and to find out more information, check us out at bellarmine.edu.
Hey, I'm Wendy Bryant. I'm from Campbellsville, Kentucky. I'm with Campbellsville University, and we're here today at Elizabethtown to share our program with you guys. We offer limited radiography program. We have allied health, medical assistant, SRNA, medical billing and coding, phlebotomy. We also offer barbering school. We also have just came on board with a new welding program. And if you'd like to reach out to us, contact us at campbellsville.edu and you will see all of our programs that we have to offer.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pam Boffman. I'm the Director of Admission at Center College in Danville, Kentucky. Center is known for study abroad. 87% of our students study abroad at least once. About 40% will study abroad multiple times. We have a program called the Center Commitment, which guarantees students will graduate in 4 years, complete an internship or an independent research project, and study abroad. If you're undecided about majors and minors, don't worry. We don't declare until spring of the sophomore year, so there's plenty of time for some self-exploration. You can find out more about Center and the Center Commitment at center.edu.
Hi, my name is Amy Cohn. I'm Director of Recruitment at HCEC-TV. We're here at the Heartland Regional College Fair. We are the local community college. We're a 2-year college here in Elizabethtown. We offer programs in both technical 2-year education as well as transfer degrees. If you want to go on and get your bachelor's degree, then we can help you get started at a lower cost. We also have a handful of programs that we offer completely tuition free, so that is a great resource. You can follow us social media, any of these, for more information, and also visit our website, elizabethtown.kctcs.edu.
Hello, my name is Kahala Glover from Lindsey Wilson College. We're a small private liberal arts college in Columbia, Kentucky. We have about 2,500 students, 1,100 of those being residents. Some of our top programs include biology, psychophysiology, nursing, business administration, recreation, tourism, and sports management, education, and criminal justice. For more information, you can go to lindsey.edu or you can apply online at lindsey.edu/apply. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Nick Jackson from Brescia University. We're a small Catholic liberal arts university located in downtown Owensboro, Kentucky. Some of the most popular programs we offer are social work, business, and education. If you're interested in finding out more information about Brescia, you can email admissions@brescia.edu.
Hello, I'm Emily. I'm with Union College. Some programs that we offer are athletic training, education, and nursing. If you want some more information, you can visit us at unionky.edu.
Hi, I'm Kate Douglas. I'm an admissions counselor with Kentucky Wesleyan College. A couple things to know about us. We are the only private college in Kentucky to offer a zoology program. It's a very popular program at Kentucky Wesleyan. We have a lot of students come from across the country, even internationally, to take part in that program. They have tons of cool internships and things like that. We also have some very great science programs, a wonderful business program, a graphic design program that is extremely good, and there are just tons of programs and great things to check out at Wesleyan. So if you would like more information, you can go to www.kwc.edu and find more information and apply.
Hi, my name is Ruthie Shaw. I'm one of the admissions counselors at Boyce College in Louisville, Kentucky. We exist to serve the church and engage the culture. So we are excited about equipping students for ministry with degrees in ministry as well as marketplace. So we have everything from biblical and theological studies to business, teacher education, and communications. So we would love to chat with you. If you want to give us a call, you can do that at 502-897-4201 or visit our website at voicecollege.com. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Gina Clear with Central Kentucky Community Foundation, and we're here at the Heartland Regional College Fair tonight to talk about Scholarship Central. Scholarship Central is a one-stop shop for all of a senior's scholarship needs. It's an online portal where you can apply for about 160 scholarships online with one application. That's all you do. Scholarship Central does most of the work for you. So if you're interested in money for college, and I know you are, go to Scholarship Central at www.ckcf4people.org.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I am the college rep from Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio. So not too far from where you are here in Kentucky, but also not right up on top of home. We are on the smaller end of a medium-sized school, so we have right around 5,000 undergraduate students, which really gives you the best of both worlds because you still have such a tight-knit campus community and smaller class sizes and individualized attention, but you're also going to be in the city of Cincinnati, and we're a D1 school as well, and so we have many strong programs, but of course business is one of our strongest ones being in Cincinnati. We also have a competitive nursing program as well, which is direct admit, and I believe we have 100% job placement rate in our nursing program at the same time. Other departments that are very strong include any of our sciences or any of our pre-professional tracks, pre-med, pre-physical therapy, occupational therapy, as well as education. So if you ever are in Cincinnati, I would love to have you visit. You can set up a visit online. You can check us out at xavier.edu, and I would love to see you again. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Jill Marion. I'm with Transylvania University, an admissions counselor, and we are located in the heart of downtown Lexington, Kentucky. We're a small four-year liberal arts institution. We have a variety of different majors, 47 to be in fact, so that is a lot for such a small institution, which means that there are a lot of options. And for more information, check us out at transy.edu. Thanks so much.
My name is Ian O'Donnell. I'm an admissions counselor from Thomas More University. Some of our top programs include our nursing program, business, as well as many of our liberal arts programs. For more information, go to thomasmore.edu.
My name is Patrick Harrison. I'm with the Lexington School for Recording Arts. What we do is audio-visual tech, so we train people how to record and work with musicians in the studio. We also teach people how to do cinematography for visual productions for movies, commercial production, and things like that. If you'd like some more information, you go to lexrecordingschool.com and let us know you want to come see us.
My name is Melody Small. I am the Assistant Director of Traditional Admissions at Midway University. Midway is known for its equine program and nursing, as well as teacher education, business, psychology, sport management. We have a wide variety of programs, and we're a very small university. We have about 700 students on campus and an average class size of 14. If you would like to learn more about Midway, our website is www.midway.edu.
My name is Seth Bailey. I'm a admissions counselor at Georgetown College. We're located in Scott County, Kentucky, about 2 hours away from here. So Georgetown is a private liberal arts college. We offer 35 different majors and minors. Our most popular range in nursing arts to education, accounting, finance, things like that. We're really good at sports as well. We're NAIA Division I. Just recently, last year, we won our last championship in basketball. We also had different programs of distinction, ranging from our Christian Scholars Program to our Oxford Honors Program, which is one of the most competitive programs that we do have at Georgetown. For more information about anything, you can reach us at gogc.me/apply. You can apply there as well and look at more information about the college.
Okay, my name's Tony Wiley, and I am the outreach counselor with Kia, not the car company, but Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority. And so tonight I want to do a presentation called Paying for College 101. Okay, so the way we help students and families with this transition, We provide a lot of materials. We help distribute the KEYS money and state grant money that we're going to look at in a moment. We have some new scholarships. We also have the KEYS scholarship. For those of you that are senior families, are any of you feeling a little bit of that senior stress yet? Yes. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is breathe, all right? What we're going to talk about are some strategies to just help get through this year because we want to enjoy the senior year, right? Hopefully they're only going to have one senior year, and we want to make it a good one. And so many times our seniors are totally stressed out because they feel like they need to know all the answers. Come on in. And they think they need to know what are they going to do, what are they going to be, where are they going to live, where are they going to college, how are they going to pay for it. And yes, these are all questions. But if they get totally stressed about what they're going to be and study, how many times do you think college students change their minds? Like 3 to 5 times. Our son was 6 years talking nothing but psychology, and pretty much the second week into college, after the test, he hated it and never looked back, okay? So the strategies I want to look at are not so much having to know those big answers, but let's lay a foundation so that if they change their mind, they can still get what they want. And I like to think of it as, with our student, what can get them to age 25 the best? Where they don't have a lot of debt, they hopefully have a degree and are able to get into the career that they want to be. So that's kind of my goal, because after high school, they're all together until they walk that line in May. But after that, it's all individual. And they're not racing or trying to compete with anybody else. So we want to really kind of set it up just for them. So the fall is when we kind of think of throwing out fishing lines. And we used to do this whole senior stuff all year long, but in the middle of my son's college time, they crammed it all into the fall, which I thought was crazy that they would put so much stuff that had to happen in the fall that far ahead of time because students weren't ready for it. But what I found is it lets our students make a really savvy decision on where they want to go and what they want to study and how they're going to pay for it. Instead of, if we waited till January to do the Fafsa and we don't find out our answers till almost May, then the schools close, the counselors are gone, and they still are unsure and might make an emotional decision instead of one that's based more on research and more solid. So if we think of the fall in 3 parts, we have what's going on tonight. That's part 1, the college fair. And we are so lucky to have this event. We've got over 40 different colleges and military here. It is a great time for your students to say hello. The colleges are like, hello, 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 come look at me. It's a great time to go find out who they are. Do they have what your student wants to study? Can you get the application fee waived? When is a good time to go visit the school? Can I visit the program I want to study? Those are the things we find out with a college fair. The third part is where your student says hello back, and that's when they apply. And we want them to apply by Thanksgiving. And the reason is some of our state schools have a December 1st deadline for scholarships. For example, in March, I met with a student who just applied to EKU. He had a 28 on his ACT, and with his GPA, it was an automatic $3,000 scholarship. Didn't have to do an essay or apply or anything, just applying to the college, and his transcript would have got him that $3,000, but their deadline was February 1st. So he didn't get it. Has to wait a whole year, okay? So that's why I say we want to try to apply, and we think of applying, we want to apply to, I recommend 3, a community college, a state university maybe, and a private college or dream school, because you may be surprised when we throw out these fishing lines and start reeling them in February and March, which one is going to be the most affordable. So we have the beginning, the college fair, the end is when they apply to the schools, and in the middle is when we go find the money. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But first I want to talk about the types of aid. When we say financial aid, there's basically 4 kinds. The first is a grant. And I always say, think G for gift, G for grant. They don't have to pay a grant back. We figure out how much money they could get with a grant by doing the Fafsa, that free application for federal student aid. Once we send that out, it taps into the federal money, it taps into the state money. We're going to know what they could get there, and even the colleges may give money based on the family income. The second one is scholarship. That's merit-based. That's based on the things your student does, how they're outstanding. Are they an athlete? Do they have great grades? And here is the secret of how my son cleaned up. The senior year is not the time to be shy or bashful. I'm going to give 2 assignments, and I'm not going to follow up on either one, so I'm not going to know if they did it, but this is what we did. Before fall break, your student needs to make a resume or beef up the resume they already have. And I want you to help them with that. Go back over the last 3 or 4 years. If they had a science project award, maybe went on a mission trip, they volunteer for something, they're in athletics or a play, whatever it is, even if they're milking cows at 5 in the morning, get that on the resume. That's step 1. Step 2 is find 3 different people to give that resume to and ask them to write a letter of recommendation. Now, when I say 3 different people, I mean 3 different avenues of your student's life. It could be a coach, a teacher, a music director, a speech club sponsor. It could be where they volunteer, if they're at the hospital, the Humane Society, a neighbor, a preacher, a youth minister, whatever. And the reason we want 3 different ones is, say your student wants to apply for Rotary Volunteer Service Scholarship. They're going to need one from a club or whatever that they're doing service hours with. But if they're trying to get on the radar for a coach, they better send a letter from their coach, right? Or music that way. These letters and the resume make such a difference. Again, my son was an ABC student and never a star athlete. But when he gave that resume to the school, and they didn't need it, they said, we don't need one, we don't need letters of recommendation, but he gave it anyway. When they saw he'd been on a mission trip, they really wanted him to be at their school. But how were they going to package it? They need a way to reward, okay? So they looked on his resume and saw 1 year only, he was the high school mascot. So they said, if you'll be our first ever mascot, we'll pay you $3,000 a year and you can design the costume. He did, and he made $3,000 all 3 years at St. Catherine. But when they closed, then we had to go find another school, and he auditioned, and he was able to get $3,000 at the University of Cumberland. That was one of them. The other one was, they saw on his sheet a special thing he did, and they had the Hale Organ Scholarship. Now, it's not body parts. It was church music. Well, my son doesn't play the organ, and he doesn't play church music, but nobody else did either. He played piano. So they gave him $2,000 a year to play piano. And then his second year, he changed it into an a cappella choir scholarship, quit playing piano, did music, and he sang at all the ball games. I mean, he had a great experience, but neither of those scholarships would have come through for him if they had not seen it on his resume. And then when he transferred colleges, he got $2,000 a year to be a music librarian. So he got paid for filing music and making copies. And then the other thing on his academic, and this is really important too, and why I say we're throwing out fishing lines. I want to tell you about his ACT score. He got a 25. Now the range goes 1 to 36. The average in our state is an 18 or 19 for a student going to college. 25 we thought was pretty good. But everybody told him he just had to go to UK. Well, UK with a 25 and his GPA, 0. No money, okay? Moorhead, on the other hand, has an honors program with a 25 at that time and a B+ average, full ride, full everything. They pay the classes, they pay the housing, the food, and even extra money, a stipend for pizza on the weekends, all right? A book that your students get as a senior is called the Getting In book, all right? And it has a snapshot page of every college in the state. When my son was a senior, he just knew it was going to be UK, so he chucked this book. But when his college closed, he came back to it, and he researched all of them and found that he would make more money with his ACT and his scholarships and all that. So that book is a great reference. But so he got 0 at UK, full ride everything at Moorhead, but he thought it was too big, too far. St. Catherine offered him 5, and University of Cumberland gave him over 9,000 for the same ACT score. So they're all different, and you don't know till your student applies to them. So even some schools will do a scholarship with a 20, just 2 points above the average. You really don't know till you start applying. Those are all scholarships based on your student skills and talents. The universities usually start doing their awarding deadlines are December 1st or February 1st. Local scholarships are not going to be till probably January, February, and March, all right? But here's the thing, if they wait till January to go to the guidance counselor and say, I need a really good letter of recommendation, and 30 other students did the same thing, how good a letter do you think they're going to get? Work study, when you do the FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid, it's going to ask, are you interested in work study? That is a job at the college. Now, if your student has a great job, they don't need the work study. If they're going to be able to do that while they're in college, fine. Otherwise, say yes, because it doesn't promise a job, and it doesn't mean they have to take it, but it's a job there at the college, which starts networking and can lead to jobs later. But also, and most importantly, if they show up to do the job and there's nothing to do, they get paid to sit there and do their homework. This is very important during finals time, because Lowe's and Walmart don't care that they have a final the next day. If it's Christmas time, they want them on the floor. But the college wants a passing rate at their school, so they're going to really encourage them to pass that test and do their studying. Here's the tricky thing about the work study, though. When you get an award letter, it may show $1,500, because basically they can have 10 to 15 hours a week, maybe more in the spring if they do a good job. It's going to pay at least minimum wage, maybe better. And the other things, they get the grants and the scholarship stuff may go directly to the school, but the work ready is going to go to your student once a month, all right? Now, if your student signs back that check and puts it on the bill, great. But they're probably going to take that check and go buy pizza, because college students need pizza, right? So if you are planning on it reducing the bill, when my son got his job at Cumberland's, before the first class started, he signed a paper saying it would go directly to the bill and he would never see it. But these are things to investigate, because it might be something that your student does need that money, and that's going to help on their gas or whatever. So, but it starts with the FAFSA. They have to say, yes, I'm interested. If they say, I don't know, the jobs will be gone before they get to them, okay? And the last thing are the loans. Now, we know we have to pay loans back. How could a loan be considered financial aid? You know, if I have to pay it back, why are you calling that aid? Well, the reason is not everybody can get a loan. Maybe something went wrong in the parent's financial life. They've had to file bankruptcy, somebody's disabled or doesn't work or retired already, and they can't get a loan. In our country, every student can get an up to $5,500 loan for their first year. And then it goes up a little bit each year after that. Now, that could seem like a lot, or it could seem like not enough. But when we look at our freshmen going in at 18, a $5,500 loan times 4 adds up to a mighty big debt when they graduate. So my goal is to help you all find other ways besides a loan to knock the cost of that college down. And with the scholarships, I always heard that money was left on the table, but I never believed it. I mean, how could people not apply for it? But when I first got this job, I found out it was true. There were 500 $1,000 Gear Up scholarships in the state. 394 students applied. That means 106 people could have written their name in one paragraph, no competition, and gotten that $1,000. When I asked the guidance counselor, why aren't they applying for it? She said, well, they all want the $10,000, the full rides. Let me tell you what, I loved when my son and his friend graduated because their names kept getting called up. They applied for everything, the little stuff, the medium stuff, the big stuff. It takes pieces, and those pieces can help make their dreams come true. All right. So when we do, where does this financial aid come from? Well, the Fafsa is going to touch into the federal government, and then that's going to send information to the state. And then the colleges are going to look at it. Of course, there's military. We've got a lot of places that these scholarships can come from and grants. Military, check with your parents, your family. If you served, you may have some kind of GI Bill. So something to think about. If your students are considering being in the military, that's a great opportunity for them. Just make sure they have real conversations with people their age or slightly older that have been in the military, because it's not like getting a job at Walmart. They just can't quit. If they sign that line, they are in. So make sure they have real good conversations with folks. All right, this book called Affording Higher Education is a book we publish every year, and it is in your public library, it is in the school library, and it is in the guidance office. So it has each of our counties broken down, and it lists all the scholarships we know about for each county. So if there's a Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club, Optimist, Republican, Democrat, Women's, whatever's out there, if they've told us about it, we've got it in the book. The colleges have their scholarships listed in it. So you can go to one of those places and photocopy your county, but you can also go to our website, which is kia.com. It's on everything we have. And if you type in Affording Higher Education, you'll get the PDF. And there's a way, I think it's Control F10 or one of those things. Your kids know how to search. But they can put in your county, and it'll pull up the pages that have scholarships tagged to them. And the reason that's important, say you're looking at the Salt River Scholarship, it's for multiple counties. So at least Bullitt and Nelson. So it might not be under one or the other, but it would be under multiple. So it's just an easier way to find it. But we do have that book. Your schools will have a website, they all do, where you can log on and start looking at those scholarships. You can look now and get an idea of how much would it be and when is it going to happen. Here's my tip on scholarships. This was my mistake 100 years ago. I was a straight A student, and I had checked all my Indiana schools, and at the very last minute, 2 weeks before school started in August, I changed my mind and went 2 states away to Tennessee. An emotional decision. It was a lovely school. It was great, but it was up in the mountains. This is before MP3 players, and you couldn't even get a radio station. You couldn't go home till Thanksgiving. I was so happy at Thanksgiving to see the city lights of Louisville and smell pollution. It meant I was back in civilization, all right? But I used up all, and you know if they go out of state, you may be subject to higher tuition, right? Because you're not part of that tax base, so they charge you more. So my mistake was, when I got down there, it was a great school, but I got homesick. I came back home, and lo and behold, I got another scholarship for IUS, the community college in New Albany. Paid the whole thing. But at the end of that year, I had what I fondly call my freshman freakout. That is where it is hard. I don't know if that's what I want to do for my whole life. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. And I just quit. I had a 20-year gap before I went back and got my bachelor degree, all right? I paid for that because my salary doubled when I got my bachelor degree, all right? But here's what I didn't do. I didn't ask about that scholarship I got. I found out 6 years later that it was in fact renewable, and I had a full ride. I just didn't know. And I didn't know who to ask. I mean, it just never even occurred to me that it would keep coming. So the FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid, we do that every year beginning in October, each year for the next year. And if your student gets a scholarship, ask, is it renewable, and what do I have to do to make it come back? Some of our local stuff is a one-shot deal, and that's what I thought that was. But some of it will renew. Like my son's music, as long as he sang at ball games, Great. The mascot, he did posing pictures and danced at ball games. It came back. You just have to find out. So those are things to find out. And you can start looking at that book, and junior families, you can look now to just kind of get an idea ahead of time what could be coming up. All right, this is what the Fafsa website looks like. If you get into it and it charges you money, back out, because the first word of Fafsa is free application for federal student aid. But before they can do the FAFSA, like if you go in and try to make your identification, and we'll talk about that in a second right now, you could do a FAFSA. The problem is you're going to be doing it for the school year 2019-2020, which is the school year we're in, and they can't receive federal money for college while they're still a high school senior, all right? So the school year 2020-2021, that's a tongue twister, that's not going to open till October 1st. But before October 1st, you can make up an ID. Now, I know people used to like pull their hair out over the FAFSA, but it is a beautiful thing now. It is so much better than it was. In my day, it was all the paper form, which was terrible. And you saw the 100 questions and you had to figure out which ones applied to you. Now it's electronic and it's intuitive, meaning if you answer this, it takes you this way or it takes you that way, and you don't see the other mess. But here's the most beautiful part about it. We can, instead of trying to figure out which money goes in which line, you can link over to the IRS, hit transfer, and boom, it fills it all in. And it's gorgeous, all right? To do that though, you have to make an account. And so some people get stressed about that, but how many of you all shop online or bank online? What are the two things you have to access your online account? Username and a password. And if you forget one, what do you have to do? Change it by answering challenge questions. What they do now is they're going to let you tag your phone and your email. And that is so awesome because people forget their challenge questions, all right? And here's an example of how you can mess up your challenge question. And I've got a paper that you all can pick up today called Things Remembered. So it has a side for your student's ID, password, your ID and password, and some challenge questions here. My recommendation for making your password is going to be, for your challenge questions, is pick a one-word answer and type with your college brain. Meaning if you were born in Elizabethtown, that comes with a capital E, right? If you're born in Louisville, capital L. One-word answers. What's mom's maiden name? What's dad's middle name? Something that is never going to change. If you do my favorite and it's a TV show and they kill off your main character, it might not be your favorite show next year, right? And here's how I can mess up my elementary school. Did I go to Slate Run Elementary, Slate Run Elementary School? Did I capitalize? Did I not? A year, you think you're not going to forget, but a year from now when you've made all these other accounts, you might forget. All right? So we've got a paper you're welcome to take when you leave to write those codes down on. But you need an email. So one parent needs an email and their own phone, and the student needs an email and their own phone. How do I know this? Because when they changed it, I used my email for everything for my son because he's a guy and doesn't look at his email, right? So when I went to do this and they changed it, it wouldn't let me do that. I had to get his email, couldn't reach him, couldn't get that code, and it locked me out for 3 days. That was a hair-pulling time, okay? So both a parent and a student need their own email and their own phone. Please do not use your school email, because what happens in May when you graduate, it goes away, all right? And you're not gonna be able to access it. I had a lady who used a work email, and she changed jobs in between when her kids went to school, and she couldn't get in. So it took a long time. But now, by tagging your phone, at least, and your email, we can get you back in. So try to have that phone, separate ones for each member. All right. When it has a little box there that says show text, please show text because typos do make you pull your hair out. All right, you have to be extremely accurate on the social, on the birth date, and on the name. It needs to appear the way it is on the Social Security card. So if parents have remarried and haven't changed their social, we'll get a kickback. I had one family that the dad used his birthday, his wife's email, and the daughter's name for one account. And of course it didn't match anywhere, and it took us forever to figure out. So it's so much better now by tagging the phone. And once we do that and get into the FAFSA, then we're going to be able to reach over and get those taxes, and it's so much easier. I'm going to be at all the schools. If you are super excited to do it October 1st, and then you want me to just scan it when I'm there that day, have your students come, and I can spot check errors pretty quickly. So I'm going to tell you 3 things that usually can cause somebody to not get money. One is when you're in the FAFSA, it's going to somewhere say parent. Well, it's going to start saying student when they put in all their info. Then it's going to change to parent, and then it's going to kick back to student. Sometimes I've seen a parent retrieve theirs from the IRS. It switched to student and they didn't notice. And it's like, well, I already did this. But then they type in, we made 40,000 and whatever. And it looked like they had 80,000 that year because it retrieved it from the IRS and then they repeated the parent income under the student. I caught that, fixed it, they got money, okay? Another thing could be you have to be pursuing a degree. It's fine if you don't know what you want to study, that's fine, but don't say, I don't know. Because if you don't tag and say either an associate degree technical, 2 year they're gonna work, an associate transfer, meaning they're gonna start at ECTCS and go to Western, or a first bachelor, those are the only 3 that are gonna be guaranteed to be eligible for federal and state money initially, all right? So we don't want to say, I don't know. Our young men have to register for selective service. It's going to ask, have you registered for selective service? If they are not 18, the answer is no, because they can't till they're after 18. And if they say no, then it will say, would you like us to register you? Say yes, and it'll take care of it. It did great for my son and that other young man. If they don't ever register for selective service, not only can they not get money for college, but they won't be able to get Social Security or disability later on in life. Say you know you're going to become a doctor. If you say, I'm going to be a doctorate, I'm pursuing a doctorate, yes, ultimately you are, but you only get money up to a bachelor. So if you say you're pursuing a doctorate, it's going to assume you already have your bachelor and you won't get any money. That's why it needs to be one of those 3, the first bachelor or the associate or the other. Now, when you apply to the college, then you can say, yes, I'm doing double majors or whatever, okay? And you can always change it. This is not in concrete, so you can always change it. But initially, to tag the money, those are some things that we want to watch for. Okay, the reason we do this is so that we can see how much money could be available to help out your student. So it's called the EFC, is the Expected Family Contribution. If yours comes back, the EFC 2000, it does not mean you're going to sit down and write out a $2,000 check. If your student's living at home or even coming home on the holidays in summer, you're spending more than $2,000 on them because of where they live, they eat, their insurance, all those things that get built in, all right? So it looks at the tuition and fees, the room and board, and then other things like getting back and forth, buying the books, just clothing, whatever else it is they need. And then it figures out the cost of that school less how much could be around available, not that you're going to write that check, but what's available. And then the difference is the need. And we're going to see how that stacks up differently for the families. When it asks about assets, now this is important. If it's going to say, do your assets exceed, say, $30,000? It is not talking about your home or vehicle. It is not talking about any kind of retirement, 401k, anything like that. It is talking about handy money in the bank, CDs that you could cash without penalty, a vacation home, or rental properties, or things like that. We don't count the farm unless you do not live on the farm. If you don't live on the farm, then we have to count that property and equipment. But if you have a business, you have to have more than 100 employees for us to count it, okay? So if it says, are your assets more than that, and you say no, then it's going to skip how much is in your bank, all right, and what your other stuff is. So if you say no and it says, would you like to skip the questions about your assets, the answer is always yes, okay, because you don't want to add stuff in there that could mess it up. But even if you have a lot of assets, it's only going to look at a tiny fraction of that. And it's not going to look at any of it if it's for retirement, because they know you have to have your home and you have to have money set aside for your retirement. All right. After we rush and do all this, we apply to the colleges, we do the Fafsa, then it's kind of like crickets. We don't hear anything for a while, all right? But in a few months, they're going to start sending award letters talking about how they packaged your student. The only way a school can send your student an award letter is, one, they have to apply to that school, and two, they have to list them on the Fafsa. You can list up to 10 on the Fafsa, okay? So they're going to send an award letter. Some people will be verified. Don't freak out if you're verified. If it's one of the schools we do, it's super easy to get through. You can tell your counselor. If you need help, we'll come help you with it. But we do it through thekia.com. And it makes sense. If our government is going to hand out thousands of dollars, they randomly check people to make sure it's accurate. And we want our government to be accurate, right? So it's not a big deal if you're verified. They're just going to ask you a few more questions. Okay, so here's why we do it. And in your book, the College Circuit, if you have that one, and you open up to page, I think, 18 and 19, so you're going to see, as soon as we hit the submit, we're going to know instantly, did you receive any of the 6,195? Again, if your family has been having a tough time financially, your student might get all of that, they might get part of that, all right? The good news about the federal is it doesn't run out, and it's good anywhere in the United States. Now, because it's the free application for federal student aid, that's the only one we're going to see. But here's what we know in Kentucky. If you get any of the federal, you get all of the 2,000 CAP grant. So let's say you got all the 6,000, all of the 2,000, throw in the KEYS money. You just got the tuition at WKU pretty much paid for. Not the housing, not the food, but you got tuition paid for. If your student decided to go start at ECTCS, they're going to get over $3,000 back to help pay for books, gas, car payment, insurance, those kind of things, all right? And then you could be like my family, 2 working adults, 1 child, middle class. We did not get any of the federal Pell Grant, which means he did not get any of the state grant, the CAP. But there's another grant we have called the KTG. It is worth $3,000 for private colleges. That's what tipped the scales both times for my son to go to private colleges. That was one of the things that kicked in that made the difference. So again, we don't know till we apply and see what they're going to offer back, because academic could be different, grant money could be different. There's all kinds of stuff out there to help. But here's the other thing that's new, that's only been around for 2 years now, and that is the Work Ready Scholarship. This is the one I call the Great Equalizer. Now, in our state, if you do not get any of the federal Pell and you're interested in one of these Work Ready programs, then we're going to kick in up to almost $4,000 to pay for it, the state is. Now, the areas are business and computers, construction like plumbing, electrical, heating and air, automotive, if it breaks on a car and they can have a class on how to fix it, that's included. Manufacturing, that could be robotics, engineering, leadership, all of those things. And then the last one is health sciences. And that can range anything from a fireman, paramedic, ultrasound technician, radiography, nurse. Anything up to a 2-year program. So this is pretty amazing. If this had been in 6 years ago when my son first went to college, he might have gone to ECTCS because it would have been completely free. Because with his KEYS money and that, it would have filled the gap. So if things are tough at home, you might get the federal money and the state grant money, those gifts. But if you're kind of middle class or above and they're interested in a short program, this could help. The other thing, if your student decides they don't want to do college at all and they want to go into an approved apprentice program, they can actually use their KEYS money for that now. Now, it has to be one that's an approved program. Your counselors can help direct you to that. But that would help pay for their clothing, their tools, transportation, shoes, things like that. So we have a lot more choices now, which again is why I say, let's throw those fishing lines out. Start seeing what could be, what they might be interested in, and then come February and March, we're going to have a better sense, again, of what's going to get my student to age 25. What's going to help them get there without the least amount of debt. So I want to show you what it looks like when we do the, and real quickly on the KEYS money, when they graduate, we add all their KEYS money together. If you haven't gone online and looked at it, please, please do. We see errors a lot of times. They get one amount each year for their average GPA, clean slate each year, new amount. They get one amount for their highest ACT they take before they graduate. When they graduate, we're going to add all that together, and they get that each year of college for 4 years in a 5-year window, okay? So half in the fall, half in the spring, grades are good, they get it again the next year, all right? And there is a possibility of a bonus for an AP class. If they pay for that test at the end of the year and pass, anybody gets college credit. But if they've been on free or reduced lunch at any time in high school, not necessarily the same time they take that test, they can get a KEYS bonus. So say they just now go on free or reduced lunch, and I know a lot of families don't want to process that, but it can waive application fees, it can get you this bonus, and you can take the ACT 2 more times free. So I want you to see an example of how this works. So case study, family of 4, 2 adults, 2 students, one's a senior, and it asks the age of the oldest parent because the older you get, the bigger the window is to get aid. Because they know if a parent's getting closer to retirement, they need to hang on to more of their money than invest it toward education. Okay, so that opens it up. If you have more students going to college, it opens it up. So let's say we do the Fafsa. It says the EFC is $2267. So this is a community college, a 4-year, and a private. Notice it's showing the community college costs $14,905. They don't. They cost $4,000. They build that other 10 in because they have to sleep somewhere. They've got to eat. They've got to drive back and forth, and they're going to need books. So if your student is living at home and your EFC is $2267, you already got that. Same thing with these others, okay? So when it shows that, you're going to get almost the difference of that $61.95 in a Pell Grant, and you don't pay that back. If you get the Pell Grant, you get the state grant, $2,000. Now, this one is getting money back because it cost $4,000, they've got $59, all right? We're still stacking over here. This is showing the private college grant, $3,000. An average maybe of $1,500 on the KEYS money. Now this is where it gets really wonky and why the private colleges benefited my son so much. They have a lot more endowments and things they can do for scholarship stuff, okay? So your family could be like mine or maybe not, but it's worth looking into, all right? And then we have that federal loan because they're all allowed to have up to $5,500, and then we have a gap, all right? So this is kind of the line showing you how it was covered, the tuition, and then the part above it, all right? So this student could be getting a lot of money back. Do they need that loan? No, but they may be offered a loan, so we have to look at it. We have to pay attention when they get their award letter. So let's just say this one's a private college, $41.88. Here's a Pell Grant, $39. They're getting half in the fall, half in the spring. You would accept. That's a gift. Same thing with the CAP grant and the KTG and the KEYS money, whatever that college is offering in scholarship, yay. All right, here's the loans. A subsidized loan means the government's paying interest while they're in college. The unsub means it's getting bigger every year while they're in college because interest is being added to it. Our son needed $2,000, so he rejected the unsub, and he shrunk that one down to just $2,000. He actually marked it out and put $2,000, made it just the most little he needed, okay? This is a thing in progress. You may have been promised a scholarship from a coach and you don't see it. Don't call the financial lady up and complain. They just may not have been told yet, okay? So it's kind of a thing in process. The KEYS money may be up through what they know about your junior year. Some schools will estimate what it could be with their senior year. You know, because you know how much your KEYS money is. So it's just a thing in process. But here's what they don't do. They don't show this gap. Almost none of them will show the gap. But you got a brain and you need to talk with your students. With a private college or a public university, when they're showing $22,000, it really is about that much. So if there's a gap, you need to go back to them and say, what kind of scholarships, what kind of grants? Our son on one of them were like, we just don't have enough money, and they kicked in another $1,000. It's conversations, okay? It's applying for those scholarships. And what I love to tell our students is, if you don't get enough money to go to your college, does that mean you can't go? No, it's a free country. It's called get a job. Work on the weekends, work in the summer, and save up that money. Your students get 3 hits of money their senior year, birthday, Christmas, graduation. If they are shooting for a college that costs $2,000 more than the other one, the one that's $2,000 more could be worth it if students actually finish the degree better there. It's called retention and graduation rate. If you see that that could really be a better fit for your student, well, then try to fill that gap. Or you can talk with your student and say, it's about the same, but if you wait and transfer, Moorhead just sent out a letter last week. If you get an associate degree first, they're going to give you a $4,000 transfer scholarship. Automatic. That knocked their tuition almost in half, not quite in half, but a big chunk of it, like 40% off. Okay, so there's ways and more ways than just the initial out the gate. All right. Filling the gap, again, private scholarships, employment, conversations, finding out, and the question you can just say is there anything you know about that I haven't thought of yet? You know, and if you're comparing 2 schools, you know, you can say this one's we're getting a better package here, but she really wants to come to this one. What can we do? If you're going out of state, sometimes you can ask that college, can you match my KEYS money? Some of them do. In Ohio, in Indiana, I know they do. So to help your student go there. It's conversations, and I'm not gonna run it, I'm gonna wrap it up pretty quickly here. If you have to get a loan, Kia's got a good one. We have better rates than other private institutions, and you get the same benefits as the federal lending. Breathe and try to enjoy the year, and I'll be at your schools to help out. Okay? Thank you all for coming.